Welcome to Vishesh Educational Videos. In this video, I'm explaining software re-engineering process. One of the important topic in software engineering. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. To get the notification of my new videos, please click the bell icon. So let me begin the explanation of software engineering. So re-engineering may involve. So re-engineering means what? Re-engineering means you are doing some changes in simple words. So if you are re-engineering means that re-engineering may involve redocumenting the system, refactoring the system architecture, translating the programs to a modern programming language, and modifying and updating the structure and values of the system data. Right? Re-engineering means the functionality, the main working of the software is not going to be changed. Only the small changes, right, that needed to improve the efficiency of the software, that are needed to improve the performance of the software will be done in a re-engineering process. For example, I told you, right, refactoring the system architecture, slightly changing the system architecture, or translating the programs. If suppose to modern languages, suppose you have written the, assume that you have written the software in C programming language, now you are going to translate that to the Python. So this is re-engineering because it will improve the performance of your software, or small architecture change you can do to improve the performance of your software. That is known as re-engineering. Right? It is not going to affect the functionality of the software. The working of the software is not going to be affected. The working will be very fine, but you are going to do small changes to improve the performance. That is re-engineering. So there are two important benefits from re-engineering rather than the replacement. Instead of replacing the entire software, you can do small changes. That means you can do re-engineering, right? So what are the benefits of that re-engineering? So reduced risk. Obviously, there is a high risk in redeveloping the business critical software. Suppose if you want to redevelop the entire software once again, especially business critical softwares like right, missiles control software or medical related software, if you there will be very high risk for redeveloping such costly softwares. Right, instead of that you can go for re-engineering. You can do some small changes and you can improve the performance of such software. So the risk will be reduced if you do re-engineering instead of replacement. And errors may be made in the system specification, or there may be development problems. Delays in introducing the new software may mean the business is lost and extra costs are incurred, right? So if you are doing a replacement, if you do some errors in the requirement process, right, or if you do some delays, obviously it will do the extra cost. It will give extra cost. So that's why instead of replacement, you should go for re-engineering. Risk will be very less. And reduced cost. The cost of re-engineering may be very less compared to the cost of developing the new software. Obviously, to develop the new software, obviously the cost will be more. But to do the changes, to do the re-engineering process, the cost will be very less. So these are the two advantages: reduced cost and reduced risk. That's why we prefer re-engineering rather than the replacement. So this is the re-engineering process. This is the diagram. So I will explain the diagram now. See here. So the activities in the re-engineering process are as follows. First one is source code translation. Next one is reverse engineering. You can see source code translation, reverse engineering. Next one is program structure improvement. Next one is program modularization. And next one is data re-engineering. I'll explain this entire steps. See, very easy. Source code translation. So using a translation tool, the program is converted from an old programming language to a more modern version of the same language or to a different language. See, re-engineering. You are changing the original program that is in the one language to the other language. Because I told you, suppose if your program is in C programming language, you can convert that program C programming statements into Python programming statements. That is source code translation. Thereby you are doing re-engineering, right? You are doing changing the source code. That will improve the performance. Next, reverse engineering. Reverse engineering means the program is analyzed and information extracted from it. This helps to document its organization and functionality. Here you are going to analyze your program and you are going to extract the information. So you can use that information. See, you are extracting the information and you are using it for program documentation. See, so you are using the program information for the documentation purpose. Next, program structure improvement. You see, program structure improvement. Program structure improvement means you are going to change the logic of the program. Simple logic. The program is analyzed and you are going to modify your program to make it easier to read and understand. Obviously, right? You are changing the structure of your program. If you change the structure, obviously it will improve the performance. Restructured program performance will be more. That's why you can change the structure of your program. Simple logic changes you can do. Next, program modularization. Modularization means related parts of the program are grouped together and where appropriate redundancy is removed. So here doing program modularization means you're grouping all the related components into a single place. That's why if you group all the related components into a single place, some extra things, redundancy will be eliminated. Redundancy means same things won't be repeated here if you go for the modularization. Same components can't be repeated because all the related components are grouped in a program modularization. So redundancy, repetitions will be reduced here. That will improve the performance. These are all the activities of the re-engineering process. Right? These are all the activities of the re-engineering process. You can see that by doing all this, what I'm doing, I'm making simple changes, thereby it will improve the performance. And also I can do data re-engineering. I can do data re-engineering. The data processed by the program is changed to reflect program changes. What you can do, database is going to store the data of the program, right? You can redefine the database schemas. Because in a database, I can say the database is a relational database, whatever you're using today, the data will be stored in the table format. So you can restructure your tables. You can restructure whatever the data you are stored. Thereby the efficiency will be improved because the time taken to fetch the data may be greatly reduced if you reorganize the data properly. Right? That's why. So your program performance may be increased if you changes the data paths properly. Right? So these are all the activities that are related to re-engineering. All these activities directly affects the performance of your program. You are not replacing the entire program or software. You are not affecting the entire functionality. You are just doing the small things like translating the program, analyzing the program and using it for the documentation, changing the structure of the program, grouping all the components into a single place, changing the data storage things. So all these things will improve these are all the activities of the re-engineering will improve the performance of your software. Next, preventive maintenance by refactoring. Now, re-engineering you have studied. What is refactoring? Refactoring is the process of making improvements to a program to slow down degradation through change. Refactoring means is the process of making improvements to a program. You are improving your program and you are slow down the degradation. You are making improvements by changing. Thereby you are slow down the degradation of your program. It means modifying a program to improve its structure. Obviously, refactoring means you are modifying a program to improve its structure, to reduce its complexity. That means suppose if you have 10,000 lines program, you may reduce the 5 lines of a program from 10,000 to 5,000. That means you are reducing the complexity. You are reducing the complexity of the program and also you are improving the structure of your program, or to make it easier to understand. Obviously, you know that 5,000 lines are easier compared to 10,000 lines. right? That's why we have to do refactoring. And one more thing, when we refactor a program, we should not add functionality but should concentrate on program improvement. Here refactoring means I'm not adding any extra feature to my software. No, I'm not doing like that, but I'm concentrating more on program improvement. I need to improve my program, I need to change the structure, I need to reduce the complexity. That's why refactoring is needed, not to add some functionality. No, it's not like that. And one more important thing, the re-engineering and refactoring are not the same. Re-engineering is different and refactoring is different. See, re-engineering takes place after a system has been maintained for some time and maintenance costs are increasing. When to do re-engineering? When to do program changes, when to do structure changes, when to do modularization. When means you already software is delivered, you already used the software for some time. Now after using the software for some time, you are facing some difficulties, maintenance costs are increasing, then you can go for re-engineering. Getting, guys? But when to go for refactoring? Refactoring is a continuous process of improvement throughout the development and evolution process. Refactoring can done from starting to ending. There is no rule. You can refactor, you can improve anytime, you can modify anytime. But re-engineering is not that. Re-engineering of the software takes place only after you start using the software. But refactoring, you can before developing the software only you can do refactoring. It's a continuous process. Refactoring is a continuous process of improvement. Getting, guys? Hope you understood. Suppose if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section, right? Next, what are the factors that can be improved through refactoring? Refactoring means it's a continuous process. You know that. Duplicate code. So when you do the refactoring, the duplicate code, the same code may be at different places in a program. This can be removed and implemented as a single method or function. That means in simple words, refactoring can be used to remove the duplicate code. Duplicate code means the same code may be repeated in different places. You can remove that and you can improve the right. Next, long methods. If a method is too long, it should be redesigned as a number of shorter methods. That means, yes, method means it's like a function. A method is used to do some tasks, right? So if the lines of that method is too long, you can reduce, you can redesign the method. That is refactoring. Next, switch statements, switch case. You know that these statements often involve duplication where the switch depends on the type of some values. This duplication of switch statements may be scattered around the program. You can reduce this duplication of switch statements that are scattered, right? And data clumping. Data clumps means data clumps occurs when the same group of data items reoccur in several places in a program. Same data occurring in several places in a program. These are often be replaced with the object encapsulating all data. That means all the data may be grouped into a single object instead of putting the same data in different places, right? Data clumps can be reduced. The refactoring is used to reduce these data clumps. You can encapsulate all the data into a single object. Next, speculative generality. This means this occurs when developers include generality in a program in case it is required in future. This can often simply be removed. That means in simple words, whatever the extra things the developer added for the future projects, actually it is not needed for now, but if the developers they are added this generality code for the future, this may be removed. You can remove this, right? So that's it, guys. Hope you understood the concept. Suppose if you have any doubts, please post your doubts in the comment section. I'm happy to help. Thank you for watching the video.